Now shift from burnout teacher to future ready coach with your grounded motivation and your reason for why you want to start your own coaching and consulting business. Now in this module, I'm going to show you exactly how to build that presence within yourself and develop that reason why you really want to shift from being in the classroom to starting your business, as well as find the things that you need to do exactly next so that you won't fall into the same trap. Now, why does this matter? Now, this is important because if you don't have a clear, soul-aligned reason why, you're going to fall back into the same pattern that makes you want to leave the classroom in the first place. So buckle up, make sure you grab the workbook down below. Yeah, this is a free workbook guide that you can follow along with the training and get all the good stuff. Okay, welcome to module 1, ladies, gents, kings, queens. Now the goal of today is to convert resistance into action. Yeah, and module 1, as I name it, this is where we activate the escape. By the end of today, yeah, our mission is clear. That is 1, to have a soul level big why that anchors your business. Yeah, we want to build our business around the mission that pulls us, not just the one that pushes us. Also, a short identity declaration you can embody now. Yeah, as I said, one of my promises for you at the end of this entire journey is not just for you to build a soul-aligned business, but for you to step in, yeah, to a new version of yourself, to a version of yourself that is ready to lead. Yeah, a version of yourself that is ready to create something that's going to last even beyond your lifetime. Also, we want to rewire at least 2 to 3 limiting beliefs and put them into friendly action and conviction, as well as, really center that bold intention over the next 90 days. I know we worked around it a bit, but we're going to solidify it, reiterate what we have already created, and also create a 48-hour micro step that you can commit to. Now, the name of the game is always take imperfect action. We don't need it to be perfect. We just need it to be done. Yeah. And I want you to imagine yourself walking on a beach. Imagine you can feel the sand beneath your toes. Imagine you can feel the sun on your face. And as you walk closer and closer, I want you to imagine yourself floating up, all the way up. And the higher up you float, the more peace you start to feel. You feel a sense of calm. And when you look down, imagine seeing your timeline. Now, this is a line that spans all the way to your future and all the way to your past. Now turn to the future. And for some people, their timeline can be a series of pictures or snapshot. For some, it can be maybe movies. Yeah, whatever that is for you, see what you see. And I want you to move towards the future. And I want you to find the future you. That version of you who is already living in full soul alignment. And just see what you see from a comfortable distance. See the way you move. See the way you laugh, talk. See the people who is around you. Even become aware of the perfume that you wear. Now, if you're observing this picture from the left side of the room, I wanted to change the perspective from which you're seeing this. And if you were on the left, you move to the right and vice versa. And continue seeing what you see. Who are you being? what are you doing? Now, because this is your imagination, you can even become aware of what you're thinking. And I want you to imagine yourself now standing next to this future version of you. Becoming aware of your presence. Now there's a gift of insight there for you. And sometimes we can become aware of what that gift is in the moment. And maybe we may not become aware of it now. And that's okay. Now I want you to take that gift with you. And imagine yourself floating all the way back. Coming all the way back. All the way back. Taking with you the new learnings, the insights that you have gathered all the way back. Back onto the beach. Feeling the sun beneath your toes. Feeling the sun on your face. Even the birds. As you come back, now back into your body. Back into the chair, back into the room. Now I want to share with you a very interesting story, and this is one of my favorite stories, and I hope it becomes one of your favorite stories as well. Now, there were three men working along the wall, in the square, and a traveler stopped by and asked the first man, who was sweating in the sun. He was one of those, those labor. Just imagine, those sheep in the sun sweating, and the traveler asked the first man, what are you doing? And the first man, he kind of grunted and looked up. I'm just laying bricks. Like he didn't want to be bothered. And he sounded a bit tired and small, as if the next brick was the only thing he can think of in that moment. And the traveler continued walking. And then he asked the second man the same question. And the second man, he paused and, he wiped the sweat from his head. And he said this with a bit of pride, I'm earning a wage. And you could have heard the steadiness in his tone. His work had meaning. He was doing that work, to feed his family. And it ended there. And then the traveler continued walking. And he reached the third man. And the third man stood tall with his chest straight, with bright eyes. The traveler asked him, like, what are you doing? And the third man smiled and he said, I'm building a cathedral. He brushed the mortar off his hand and, he continued laying the brick, place by place. And the traveler looked back at the wall. And all three men, laying the bricks in the same place. The tools were the same. The sweat was the same. But the third man's vision changed not only his posture, but the way he saw setbacks, the long hours, the weary days. When the storm came, he stayed. When the schedule slipped, he solved the impossible. Now, he didn't see a single brick. He saw the altar where people would be coming for years, where people would be standing, where lives would be changing. And that's what vision does. It stretches a laborer's day into a calling, a small task into a legacy. And for leaders, entrepreneurs, and founders, a clear why is that cathedral. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this story is that making money is not the goal, but it's the process to the next. When you're able to build a profitable solo line business, not only would you live the entrepreneurial life You can start that nonprofit or a community center that would create change in the way that you like to see it. Yeah, also, some people would have vision, but they never move. Other people, they have vision and they never stop. Yeah, that's what I want for you, to be those others. And there's no powerful engine driving you towards excellence and long-term success than an attractive, worthwhile, achievable vision of the future. Because vision lead leaders. And as you went to the future, you get to see a glimpse into what you're already capable of. And it's something that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Yeah, so that's why our first exercise is gonna be your big why. Now I wanted to write this statement, and if you have looked at the workbook, you already have went through this exercise before. Yeah, however, we're gonna do this together, and you're gonna get to share what your big why is. Now you want to complete this sentence: I'm starting this business because, and you fill in the blank. And you want to repeat this 4 to 5 times until why. You want to ask why 4 to 5 times until you reach the root. So here may be an example, right? I'm starting a business because I value flexibility and autonomy. Why? Because I love to make money doing the things that I love. Why? Because love is the ultimate gift of life. Why? Because we're guided to do the work that we are called to do. Why? Because I believe that love is God's gift to mankind. Yeah, and ching, yeah, we get to the root of that why. And I want you to capture the core line, and we're going to use that to write your big why. I wanted to take that last why, and I wanted to wrap it into this one-liner structure. Yeah. I do this because I believe. What do you believe? And I want to create. What do you want to create? And for who? Yeah, I have an example here. I do this because I believe that love is God's gifts to mankind. And I want to create a world through my work where love is the default emotional code of my children and their children after them. Yeah. Now, when you create this statement becomes your core. It becomes your fuel. So for me on the previous slide, yeah, my last one was because I believe that love is God's gifts to mankind. Yeah, so what I did, I plugged that into my belief. Yeah, I do this because I believe that love is God's gifts to mankind. And I want to create a world through my work where love is the default emotional code for my children and their children after them. So you'll plug your why into that gap and add the element of what are you creating and who are you creating it for. One of my favorite stories is about this man. And this man, he's walking down a path, and then he found this special egg, and this egg was a magical egg. Yeah, it wasn't just any egg, it was an eagle's egg. Now, this man was a farmer. So what he did, he took the egg and he put the egg with all of his chickens, and eventually the eagle grew up and he hatched. And he started hanging out with all the chickens. Yeah, and the eagle started doing things that chickens did. Just imagine an eagle walking around with chickens, and he'll poke his head in the dirt looking for worms. Yeah, he'll even flare his feet up in the sky, and then eventually he'll land back on the ground. Now, one day this eagle was gazing in the sky, and he saw this bird majestically soaring across the cloud, and he's like, "What's that?" A chicken nearby was like, "He's an eagle. He's the king of the sky, king of all birds. Don't you worry about him, young lad." And that eagle, he lived and died a chicken because that's what he thought he was. Now, the reason I'm sharing this story with you is because to become the CEO of your purpose, you must already believe that you are the CEO of your purpose. Let me say that again. To become the CEO of your purpose, you must already believe that you are the CEO of your purpose. Yeah. Now, what I want you to do is I want you guys to complete the identity card, and I want you to claim it. I don't want you to just write it, but I want you to claim it. Inside of the workbook, there's a section that says identity card, and it has a few slots there. And this is just an example that I wrote for myself. Yeah, past role, IT teacher. My new title, as of today, I am a multi-dimensional strategist. My one-line mission, I help soul-led leader to step into their power. My core strength, creating fun and energizing learning experience. Yeah, my first embodied action this week is to onboard our first ECBA expert trainer. Now I want to give you some time, and you can go to the workbook where it says identity card, and I want you to complete this card. Yeah, take a few minutes. Yeah, and embody the identity that you are stepping into over the next 6 months. And here's a pro tip. When you complete this card, stick it somewhere where you can see it. Yeah, sometimes the best place is to have it right above you. They're reminding you of who you are. Because there's something magical about words, especially the ones that we say to ourselves. Now, one of the most beautiful things about an identity at this age is that we get to create it. We get to mold it. Yeah. You know, I remember my when I get into the coaching field and the personal development field, and I learned that a belief isn't truth. That was a major mindset shift for me. Because I used to believe that, okay, if I believe it, it's true. And I get into coaching and realize, oh wow, beliefs can change. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. And as I dig a bit deeper, I realize, oh wow, values can change and even identities can change. Yeah. So there's life and death in the power of the tongue. Whatever comes after I am is. Yeah, so as you're getting these new ideas and you're getting these downloads, be creative. Yeah. You're not limited to any one identity. And as you start stepping more into that version of yourself every day, moment by moment by moment, yeah, your beliefs will change, your behaviors and your actions would follow. Now, what we're going to do here, yeah, I want to take this moment for each of you to identify 3 limiting beliefs that you currently have right now when it comes to growing your coaching business. And this can be anything. Yeah, and you want to write each of them. And you want to create a reframe for one. Yeah. Write one counter evidence for one of them. And at the end, we're going to do an exercise. I'm going to take you through a very powerful NLP practice that I love, that I believe will be super, super valuable for you as you work with this belief. Yeah, so that you can keep this the shift that you're going to experience as a new anchor. And here's an example. Yeah, I'm not experienced enough. Then evidence can look like 10 years in the classroom. The reframe, my classroom practice is my unique expertise. Now, I remember it was 2016, and I wanted to share what I was learning with my peers. Yeah, and because I was physically fit and I was practicing martial arts, a lot of my peers wanted to learn how to do the things that I was doing, but there was something inside of me that wanted to speak to them. Yeah, that wanted to share a different perspective. That wanted to share stories. Yeah, but I felt like, but who am I to share these stories that I'm hearing with them? Like, who am I? Like, I don't have that much experience. I don't have that much skills. But one thing that Dino then forget is that when I was 16, 14 years old, I was a part of our young leader project team. Yeah, and we placed third with the work that we did. At 16 years old, I was the vice president of our youth organization. And every Saturday, yeah, I would go and do presentation with trouble kids. Yeah, and that was so fun, but I forget that all that experience contribute to my ability to share and tell stories. And sometimes we forget these things, right? The past part of our life, sometimes we just put them under the table because we were doing it as a volunteer or we were doing it for free. Yeah, so I wanted to identify 3 limiting beliefs and pick one and write one counter evidence and a reframe statement. Now, the beautiful thing about the mind and belief is that the mind has a very interesting way to create beliefs. And it usually use 3 forms that you're going to become more aware of. The first form is that it creates it in pictures. Yeah, it flashes evidence of pictures. Yeah, and you're unconscious. Sometimes we're aware of them, sometimes we're not. Sometimes it comes as thought. Yeah. Sometimes it comes as song, as someone else's voice. Yeah. And as we become aware of the picture, the image, the brightness, the size, it start shrinking, getting a bit smaller, diminishing. And it slowly fades with time as you bring in the new belief. So tonight we're going to work with one belief and one reframe. And then for the other 2, I'm going to invite you to practice it. Yeah, with as much belief as you like. So let me check. Does each of you have a belief that you like to reframe? Sophia, Deirdre, Mighty Warrior? Okay, wonderful. And the wonderful thing about this, you don't need to share it now, but at the end, I'll invite you to share it. Yeah, and you know what you have written. And you can do this with your eyes closed or with your eyes open. And I want you to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax. Yeah, that's right. You have relaxed before, haven't you? That means relaxation is easy. Now I want you to imagine yourself sitting. And this can be a familiar space, it can be a room, or it can be like you watch X-Men, you see Professor Xavier, he's in this room and he has this big screen around him. Yeah. I want you to bring that in, bring a big 3 screens surrounding you. And as you're seeing what you're seeing, I want you to find evidence of this belief. And it can be in the form of pictures. And imagine them like a deck of cards coming in one after the next. Now, if they're too close, imagine you're putting them a bit far out from you. Now, if the deck of cards are coming in one after the next, I want to spread them out in front of you and just see them. Yeah, that's right. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. And if there's audio, imagine you can reduce the volume just a little bit. Now, this exercise may be new. And that means there's no perfect way to do it. Now, Now, as you're seeing all the image in front of you, think about the reframe, moments where that's not true. Find a picture in your past where that belief isn't true. When you find that picture, you can give me a sign, and by nodding your head or shifting your body. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Now that means there's even more evidence of that. And I wanted to bring those in. Yeah, bring them in even more. And I want you to search until you find at least 5 of that new belief. Yeah, that's right. And it's okay if some of the pictures fade a little bit. You can always go back in and bring the pictures in and imagine the new beliefs with the old beliefs all scrambled together. And in any moment, in your own time, imagine you're expanding the size of the pictures of the new belief. And as these are expanding, the old belief is getting squeezed in between, shrinking them all the way down, all the way down. Allowing the new belief, all those pictures to stretch all the way around you. And imagine yourself in that room and imagine turning 360 degrees and you can see all those pictures of the new belief. Reminding you of who you are. Yeah, that's right. Now, the more you do this, the easier it becomes. It's like riding a bike. Allowing your unconscious mind to make all the adjustments it sees fit. Add color, and even add your favorite song. Now, changing the temperature, just right now. Now, when you're ready, in your own time, knowing that this new belief is tucked away in the back of your mind, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. Welcome back. Yeah, there's something that successful entrepreneurs know that most unsuccessful ones don't, and it's not doing the thing that makes you successful is the hard part. It's the resistance. Yeah, the internal dialogue, the I am not enough dialogue, the something is wrong with me dialogue, the I am 2x dialogue. And when we start naming and shining light on those lies, yeah, that's when we are free. So freedom is becoming aware of our triggers and choosing the ones that we want to respond to. And just with this little exercise, you have slayed so many demons. And now that you have this tool, I would encourage you, throughout the week, when a belief show up, get excited, write it down. Yeah, write the reframe. Yeah, go into your unconscious mind, see the pictures, bring them in, acknowledge them because they do make sense. I believe every belief is useful. And then bring in evidence that counter that belief. Yeah, where wasn't this true? Okay, this is our final exercise, and this is our 90-day ball intention. Yeah, we kind of skim on this in our orientation. Yeah, and I want you to write your 90-day ball intention. In 90 days, I would, and make it measurable. Yeah, quantify it. Yeah, and also list your 30-day milestone. So once you find your 90-day, reverse engineer it. Okay, 60 days, I would. 30 days, I would. And then finally, 28 hours microstep, I would do X by X date. So a quick example, yeah. In 90 days, I will enroll 3 clients at $3,000 by August the 30th. 30 days, 5 discovery calls. I see Joy watching me, yeah. Let's go, let's get it. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And then 48 hours, yeah, finish my 90 seconds pitch. Yeah, so that's just an example. So what is your bold intention in 90 days? Assignment would be to check in with your trusty AI pal, yeah, and experiment with the prompt that I share in the workbook. Yeah, the great thing about working with AI Copilot is that it helps with the ideation process. Okay, I provided some prompt. I'm trying to implement AI through the entire workbook process so that when you're stressed for time, you can always leverage that technology. Okay, you can ask it to help with your identity, your big why, so you can refine it and make it even more close to your heart. Also complete your first level up mission for the week, yeah, which is write a letter from your future self. Yeah, and yeah, say everything, share everything that, why you did what you do, what you're doing. Yeah, that's a really helpful exercise. And also, yeah, practice the reframing exercise with the belief. Yeah, whenever a new belief comes up, yeah, it could be a belief that you can feel it. You find the reframe, find the evidence, yeah, and just shift it. So that's your assignment for this week. You have done really brave work today. Yeah, you have written your big why. You have crafted an identity statement, and you have set your 90-day intention. That is a lot more than most people have done in an entire year. So I want you to be super proud of yourself. Yeah, you're showing up and you're done doing the work. And whenever you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to take a breath and realize that we are learning how to do this. Yeah, we are learning how to do this. Yeah. Now, this is phase one. We've just unlocked phase one. And phase two, yeah, we'll be focusing on claiming your soul aligned niche. Yeah, we'll be talking more about the person who you want to serve through your vehicle. Yeah, that is your soul aligned business. And we would really define this person even more. Before we have the session, do go through the workbook, finish the exercises in the workbook. So when you come on the call, it's all about refining it and making it fit right.
Now, if you make it all the way to the end, it means you're enjoying the training. So be honest. Go ahead and let me know what was your biggest insight, as well as leave a comment and tell me what is your next big step. If you're watching this training and you're not taking action, it means you're just like everybody else. And I know that's not you. You were born to lead. You were born to make a difference. So let's do the thing, man. Also, grab the workbook. Yeah, because that's where the action is, and that's why I put every single thing that you need to do so that you can build a soul-aligned business. New episode every week. Check out the things, man. Sunday, 7 p.m. China time. Yeah, and see you on the next episode.